We'll preview Mainstage Irving Las Colinas' upcoming show. We'll have a profile of artist Stephen Benazou, and we'll check out the Irving ISD annual exhibition of high school art. All this and more coming up About Town. Hello, everyone, and welcome to About Town. I'm Kathy Whiteman. We're so glad you could join us today for a look at Bell, Book, and Candle, presented by Mainstage Irving Las Colinas. And Susan Stevens talks with actress Ruby Rose about the new thriller, Vanquish. As always, we'd love for you to send us your feedback. Tell us about events going on around the community, interesting people we should profile, or stories you'd like to see on the show. You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Continuing their series of plays online, Mainstage Irving Las Colinas presents Bell, Book, and Candle, a romantic comedy involving a book publisher, a modern-day witch, and a magic spell or two. If that sounds familiar or bewitching, check out Susan Stevens' preview of the show.
Hello, there's Pyewacket again. I haven't seen him in a long time.
ICT Mainstage's newest production, Bell, Book, and Candle, features an unexpected furry co-star.
Oh my gosh, yes. No, I almost said it's the best part, but I can't say that because I also work with my husband.
Pyewacket. I don't want that book published. Elois, Bejoulet, Fidibus, not by anyone, do you hear?
TJ, one of the cast members, has Fitz, the cat, and he is so calm, and all he wants is belly rubs, and so anytime I'm not on stage, which isn't often in this show, I'm backstage with the cat, sticking my hand in his carrier. He's very sweet.
Fitz plays Pyewacket, a powerful cat, in the romantic comedy about a witch who falls in love with a mortal.
Oh! Did she tell you that he doesn't like me?
This play is about a woman who tries to keep her identity as a witch secret and lead as much of a normal life as she can, while at the same time enjoying some of the perks that go along with her special ability.
She puts a spell on my character, and so to fall in love with her.
The word is warlock.
Well, you don't have to get technical about it.
You don't believe there are such things at all?
No, and it's no use you trying to convince me either.
No matter who told you.
No matter who told me.
I wish I could trust that.
Hey, look, nobody's threatening you, are they?
And what happens afterwards, and the power of emotions and this magical world of human versus witchcraft.
If this story sounds familiar, it's because this 1950s play is the inspiration behind the beloved television show Bewitched.
They came out with the play, and then they had the movie with Jimmy Stewart and Kim Novak, and then Bewitched kind of came out of that. So it's kind of the same characters. I would play the Dick York, Darren character of Bewitched, and then Jillian would be the Samantha character.
Because I want to. That's why you cannot publish this book.
No, I'm sorry, dear, but no.
My character's a little bit more confident and mysterious than Samantha. She's not quite as playful, but she definitely has her moments, especially when she's together with Shep, her romantic counterpart.
And this witch doesn't twitch her nose to make magic happen.
She casts spells with the use of her cat Pyewacket. There are a couple of times that she tries to do some magic using matches and special wording and things like that.
But one of the most enchanting things about this show is the chemistry between Shepard and Jillian, played by real-life husband and wife Greg and Liz Hullett.
Working with her has been great. It's been wonderful. I haven't had any complaints at all. You can quote me, please. She's back there somewhere.
It's so fun. It's helpful because we can run lines at home, and for a very wordy show, that's always nice.
We can kind of bounce stuff off of each other, and we don't take it personally like somebody else is giving us a note. We'd say, oh, I didn't notice that. So you pick up stuff.
Very few. Very few.
The cast says everyone enjoys working together, but they are especially excited to perform in front of a live audience during the limited seating opening night show.
We shall miss you here.
This is the first show back.
When you've been without an audience for so long, yes, we're filming it these couple of days for the rental or streaming purposes, but to be able to have people in the seats on Friday, we're so excited.
As an actor, you kind of crave that feedback from audiences, and I mean, even during the rehearsal period, you don't come alive until there's an audience. And it feels really good to have that.
Bell, Book, and Candle is a nostalgic comedy that Main Stage Irving Las Colinas invites the whole community to see.
It is family friendly. I think that's really important, just like Bewitched was.
It's funny. It's very lighthearted, which I think everybody needs after being quarantined.
And it's just really fun. It's really fun.
I really must go. I was late before.
For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
I couldn't resist the urge to come here.
Bell, Book, and Candle streams live on Friday, May 7th at 7:30 p.m. and is available for viewing through May 22nd. Get your tickets online at mainstageirving.com. Stephen Benezou started his career as an architect, but his love of making art launched a second career that included his other passion, teaching. Now as adjunct professor and gallery manager at Dallas College Northlake campus, he makes art, promotes the work of other artists, and inspires students on a daily basis. Here's our profile of this talented and dedicated artist and teacher.
I am an artist. Okay? I also a teacher, and so those two really go hand in hand. I mean, I teach 24/7, and I make art in my head 24/7. I teach ceramics, sculpture, 3D design. For other schools around the area, I've actually taught art history. I've taught photography. I've taught drawing. So I've teach just about anything they'll pay me to teach in the arts. I'm traditionally a ceramic artist, working with pottery and working with ceramic sculpture. But life dealt me a life rearranging blow years ago. Got divorced, and I had to move out of my house, and all of my ceramic equipment went into storage. And so I really couldn't do my ceramics at that time. And so I just started playing with Adobe Illustrator, which I hadn't done a lot of, but I started playing with it and suddenly realized that I had developed maybe a small body of work, and maybe there was a direction to go with that. And those original early pieces were almost like aerial photographs, looking down on the land. I started saying, well, what else could that be? It's what an artist does. Well, what else? Where can I push that to? So I gave myself the freedom to begin abstracting those. I have a background in architecture and urban design, and so I've always been interested in how people use the land, the history of land usage. I love the fact that they've developed this software now that they can use satellites to look through the earth and see ruins that are not evident on the surface. I've gone to places I'll probably never get to because I can go there with my computer and I can look around and see what's there, and then I can close that and make a piece of artwork from it. I try to give each one of these a history and a story, but I think that's what artists do. They're trying to create not an alternate reality, but they're trying to take what we have and let you see it in a different way. Let you go someplace that you maybe can't go in the real world. And seeing the work on the walls in here just gives me ideas of where else I can take this, you know, and what work I haven't done yet. It's exciting.
Learn more about Stephen Benezou's digital art as well as his work in ceramics and photography at benezou.com. The new thriller Vanquish stars Morgan Freeman as a decorated cop with a secret and Ruby Rose as a single mom with a dangerous mission. Susan talked with Ruby Rose about her work in the film.
How about the pickups? I hear there's a problem.
You forget who you're talking to?
I'm the former police commissioner. As a woman.
You're a caretaker?
Hey, Damon. Where is she?
You do what I tell you to do, and everything will be just fine. I need you tonight using some of your old skills. 5 stops, 5 pickups.
There are too many people waiting for me to make this mistake.
You ran drugs for the Russians. You were a courier in and out of Moscow.
Who is she?
You know who she is. Just stay out of her way.
Hi, Ruby. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I thought you did a fantastic job in this film. And I know that director George Gallo, he stated that he pulled from the Korean gangster film genre whenever he was making this movie. Were there any film genres or movies that inspired you while preparing for this role?
Actually, this wasn't a film where I had another film kind of in mind for. I think when I read the script, I was very excited to potentially be working with George Gallo and obviously Morgan Freeman. But when I read the script, what really stood out to me was more real life examples and real life sort of inspiration. And one, I mean, ultimately being my own mother, because I'm reading the script and seeing that, at the heart of this, it's a single mom that would do anything for her daughter. And she's already changed her whole life around and is just trying to do her best. And I had a single mom. She was 20 when she had me. And what the lengths that she went to protect me, to feed me, to whatever we had to do. I mean, we were traveling all over the country trying to, get somewhere safe and happy and where she could then eventually relax and thrive into, the mom that she wanted to be. But you see these mums with superhuman strength that lift cars and all this sort of stuff. And for me, when I read it, that was more, I wasn't really comparing it to other films or anything like that. I was more just thinking about how in real life we see this so much, and how I think my mom will very much enjoy this film because she'll see a lot of herself in it. And I think that probably will be true for a lot of parents.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Well, you also mentioned Morgan Freeman. I imagine it was great working with him, but what was that experience like?
It was great. Somebody like Morgan Freeman, and during the time, it was the first film we'd done during the pandemic. So there are a lot of rules and 6 feet, masks. We all had to be in separate areas. So I wasn't sure how much time I'd get aside from in scenes with Morgan, but, he was wonderful. And he really wanted us to be comfortable and better, sit outside and do 6 feet, but to be able to talk through certain things. And he had some changes he wanted to make to some of his script, and I had some changes. So it was a very nice, collaborative thing. And I admire his presence. I admire how, he comes into a room and he lights up the whole room. But I love that he's still gentle and caring and approachable. And then in the scene, that's when he just goes straight into, what he's incredibly talented and gifted at. But it drags you into the scene and makes you pull out parts of yourself that, you didn't even know that you were going to be reacting to, just by the way he delivers what he's saying. And you listen and you hear something different to just reading it, and then it really was playing. It really is that kind of what you want to better do in every film and every scene, but you get them and you just love them when you have them.
Yeah. And I really quick just wanted to do a quick rapid fire game related to Vanquish, just kind of would you rathers. Would you rather be a skilled shooter or motorcyclist?
Motorcyclist, because where am I going to use being a skilled shooter in my life? I don't even want one.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Would you rather have redemption or revenge?
Redemption.
Okay. All right. And
set you up well for karma.
Yeah. I figured it was an easy one, but you never know. Would you rather have a camera visibly on you for an entire evening, but you could do whatever you want? Or would you rather be the person at home watching the person who's with that camera?
I would rather be at home. It's a pandemic. Yeah. I want to be at home watching them do it. And I'll be like, are you wearing a mask? That person looks a little close to you.
Yeah.
Plus, I did have to carry an actual camera around in that film, and it is so heavy. So, and I get a P camera credit, but I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit at home.
I figured that. That would be uncomfortable. But final one. Out of all the 5 stops that Damon made Victoria go to, which one do you feel like you personally could have handled the best?
Probably, what is it, the second last one where I get drugged?
Yeah.
Because I even went back on that. Originally, he just offers me a drink, keeps offering me a drink, and I just drink it. And I was like, why would she do that? She's not, stupid. So we had to finagle that a little bit. And I added in sort of me going for a completely different drink, thinking it was fine. And because I was like, there's no way. So like, I wouldn't have even drunk the drink that I got from him ever. So I would have never been drugged, and I would have been able to succeed much better in that scene, I think, as opposed to her.
Yeah, exactly. Good plan. That would have been my thought too. When I watched that, I was like, just don't drink anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Three more stops. 2 more stops. 1 more stop.
Vanquish is streaming on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and other online platforms. Talented artists from Irving ISD's high schools poured their energy, skills, and emotions into some truly outstanding art over this past year. The results were part of the annual Irving ISD exhibition of high school art. I talked with Gayla Lawrence, Irving ISD's Director of Visual Arts, about the challenges and triumphs of making art during a global pandemic.
We have drawing, we have painting, we have mixed media, we have ceramics, and there are a few sculpture pieces.
For over 25 years, Irving ISD has hosted the annual exhibition of high school art, a showcase of work created by the district's talented young artists.
A lot of the kids that we have in fine arts, their passion, their reason for being, their reason to going to school is their art.
It's an opportunity for teens who love art to express themselves, and for those with career aspirations to have their very first gallery show and present their AP art portfolios. It's an important tradition that almost halted due to COVID.
So last year, we weren't able to have the show, and it was really, really hard on the seniors. They are used to having a senior portfolio where they're focused their own exhibit in the gallery. So our teachers are so amazing that with the cooperation of the Irving Arts Center, we partnered to have a digital show for our seniors. And they also made sure that the AP portfolios happened. And so we ended with a really positive note.
And 2021 brought more positive news.
I have to say, I was so excited to get the call from Marcy Inman when they said, hey, do you want to do a show? And, I did cartwheels in the office.
The logistics of putting together an art exhibit during a global pandemic are not easy. But the teachers and administrators had already come through a year of challenges.
When this pandemic hit, we were literally pushed into the deep end of the swimming pool not knowing how to swim.
One of the things that you alluded to earlier that just kind of stops me in my tracks is, in a usual year, in a typical year, your student goes to school and the supplies are there and the things that you need to work with are there, and so they make art. They couldn't do that this year.
Right, and that was one of the first things in the spring that was so difficult because we didn't know how we were going to do school. We didn't know how we were going to buy groceries. We didn't know how we were going to do life. And our teachers were just like, well, if we can't leave our house, how can we get our kids clay? How can we get our kids acrylic paint? They don't have those supplies at home.
The teachers also had to come up with novel ways to teach foundational concepts remotely.
Some of it was thinking very out of the box on how we can teach those same concepts. How can we teach 3D? Maybe it needed to be modeling clay. Maybe we need to do Prisma pencils, colored pencils instead of paint to start with right now. So there was a lot of modification, not lowered expectations, but thinking out of the box of how we can use different materials to teach the same concepts. It's kind of what we had to do to start with, and then as soon as we possibly could, we got the materials that our kids needed in their hands.
And that's when all the adjustments and modifications and learning how to teach art concepts online paid off. The students poured their energies and skills into work that surprised and delighted their teachers.
When we hung the work and the teachers just looked around, it was almost like a moment of silence. They were like, this is good. This is good work. This might be one of our best shows.
The work reveals the students' talent and mastery of technique, but it also reflects some of what they faced during the last year.
One of the things that we noticed as the year went on was what an emotional struggle it was for the students, and how deeply and profoundly it affected the students to be separated from their teachers, from their peers, from their friends. And so one of the things that we did this year was we incorporated social emotional learning components into our high school curriculum to keep that connection really strong.
Teachers encourage their students to infuse those emotions into their art. One of the students expressed her exhaustion with COVID in this piece.
That is actually a slot machine, and pulling the slot was the question and how unpredictable life is every day with COVID. And you can't really see closely, but there are tears streaming down the face, and they connect at the bottom of the chin.
The piece was selected to compete at the state level in VASE, the Visual Art Scholastic event. The quality of the artwork, the challenges faced, and the goals achieved all combined to make the 2021 exhibition exceptional. Lawrence says that she can sum up her feelings about this year's effort in a few words.
There's one word for me. Well, no, there's two, because I never have just one word. The first word is pride. I'm so proud of the kids because they could have checked out, and many did, I'm sorry to say. And the second one is I feel like it's just a victory. It's a victory, I think, for the Irving Arts Center, because they've missed this. It's a victory for our teachers, it's a victory for our students, and it's not a bubbly, oh, this is a great show. It's like, this is a great show. This is maybe the best show because of what had to take place for it to happen.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting. Here's another look at the work of these very talented young artists and a list of wildly creative things to do about town. And here are a few more exciting things to do in our happenings about town. The Lone Star Youth Orchestra, another group of very talented young people, present their season finale on Wednesday, May 12th at 7 p.m. in Carpenter Hall. The concert, The Three Bs, with apologies to Beethoven, will feature this year's concerto competition winners. Pick up your Art to Go kit and tune in for creative fun on Second Sunday Fun Day, May 9th. The theme is Masterpieces with Mom in celebration of Mother's Day, and you can pick up your kits between 1 and 4 p.m. at the Irving Art Center. Meet artist Amy Wirtz and learn more about her portraiture on Saturday, May 15th from 2 to 5 p.m. in the Focus Gallery. And registration for Kids Arts, the Irving Arts Center's Summer Visual and Performing Arts Intensive for Kids, opens May 15th. Learn more about these events and register for Kids Arts at irvingartscenter.com or call 972-252-ARTS for tickets and information. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us. Please be sure to join us next time for a look at Cinco de Mayo at the Toyota Music Factory, Momentum Dance Company's United We Dance, and the Three Bs, the Lone Star Youth Orchestra's season finale. We'll leave you tonight with another look at United We Dance. I'm Kathy Whiteman. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.